What is a seroma? Why do we care? And how do we fix it? This was sent to me in my DMs, and it is a very important concept in breast reconstructive surgery. A seroma is a fluid collection. Anytime you have something removed from your body and there's a space left behind, like a lumpectomy or a mastectomy, unless that space is closed down completely, your body sees that empty space and rushes to fill it with fluid. That's called a seroma. Now, why do we care? Why we care depends on what the seroma is around. So let's start with a non-implant based breast reconstruction. Let's say a DIEP flap. After you have your DIEP flap, there's two places for you to develop a seroma, in your abdomen or in your breast. And that's why we use drains. When the fluid builds up in your abdomen or your breast, if there's not drains to allow the body to get rid of the fluid, or if your body can't absorb the fluid, this seroma buildup can become infected. And if it's there for a long time, if that fluid is in your abdomen for a long time, it starts to build a rind around it that almost feels like a thickened scar tissue. And it can be very difficult at that point or impossible to remove the seroma and its surrounding cavity without having surgery. So after a surgery like a DIEP flap, if your surgeon notices that you have a seroma in your abdomen after your drain is removed, oftentimes we will place another drain to allow that fluid to be removed, allow your tissues to heal together, and prevent a second seroma. Now, in implants, it's a little bit different. So if you have an immediate breast reconstruction or after the mastectomy, you have a tissue expander or an implant being placed, we've talked about this before. Your implant or your tissue expander needs to make a home for itself. That's called the capsule. If the tissue expander or implant is floating around in a fluid, seroma, it makes the home too big. It's bigger than the implant itself. So now you have this little implant floating around in a big cavity. That's a problem for a couple reasons. Now the cavity is too big, it can lead to implant malposition. And if that fluid sticks around, once again, it can get infected or could make the capsule start to become contracted. We don't want any of that. So that is why we use drains after surgery, we have activity restrictions, and we really monitor for things like seromas. Now, what do we do if you get it? So for the abdomen or breast, if there's not an implant, we talked about the fact that we can have a drain placed. This is a little bit trickier for implants. Often radiologists will place a drain with IR guidance, but sometimes you have to go to surgery to fix the seroma. Does that make sense? Does it answer your questions? If you have any more, let me know below.